Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Wish
Hare
you all
Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Wish you a happy Akshaya Tritiya and
Yeah,
Chandan Yatra.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
I welcome you all to today's Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is April 20th, 2026, and it is Akshaya Tritiya today, the beginning of Chandan Yatra, and also Tulsi Jaldan. Very hot. But yeah, we are reading from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 9. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places in South India. So we read that Mahaprabhu arrived at Sringeri Mutt, which is the headquarters of Sripad Shankaracharya's ashrams, mathas. That is the headquarters. It is in Karnataka. So we read about that. After that, Mahaprabhu came to Madhvācārya's ashram, also in Karnataka, in Udupi. So there stayed the Tattvavādī, the Tattvavādī group of Madhvācārya's disciples. So madhvācārya-sthāne āilā jaha tattvavādī uḍupīte Krishna dekhi tāhāṅ haila premonmādī. So Mahaprabhu came to Udupi and saw Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa, and he became ecstatic, mad with ecstasy. So in that place resided the philosophers known as Tattvavādīs. So yesterday we read part of the purport about the birth of Madhvācārya. So Madhvācārya was born near Udupi. Udupi is in the South Kannada district of South India. That means in southern Karnataka, to the west of the Sahyadri mountains, near the city of Mangalore. And near this city is a village called Pajaka Kshetra. That's where Madhvācārya took birth. And he appeared in a Shivali Brahmana dynasty. And his father's name was Madhya Bhatta. And he was born in the year 1040 Shakabda. If you remember, Shankaracharya's birth was 608 Shakabda. So you see the time difference. And some others opine that Madhvācārya appeared in 1160. So you can take around 500 years difference. Madhvācārya appeared around 500 years after Shankaracharya. Then we also read about the childhood of Madhvācārya. His name was Vasudev. And there are many wonderful pastimes of Madhvācārya in his childhood. His father was in debt, so to repay the debts, as a small boy, he took some seeds, tamarind seeds, and he converted them into coins, gold coins, and repaid the debt of his father. And also, he was only 5 years old when he was given his Brahman initiation, sacred thread. When he was a 5-year-old boy, he killed a demon called Maniman, who was living in the form of a snake near his house. And how did he kill the snake? With the toe of his left foot. A 5-year-old boy with the toe of his left foot killed a demon who was in the form of a snake near his house. And whenever his mother would call him, he can be far away, anywhere, even in other, neighboring villages also, or cities. When his mother would call, he would just appear in front of her in one jump. Madhvācārya is actually an avatar of Vayu and Bhimsen. Then he took sannyas when he was 12 years old. He was a great scholar and he took sannyas, even though, there's a story behind that. He wanted to take sannyas, but his father said, "You are our only son." And, he went and pleaded with the guru who was going to give initiation and all that. So finally, Madhvācārya said, "Okay, I will not take sannyas until you have another son, but I'm not going to go back to house, to go back home. I will stay here in the ashram of my guru, and I will take sannyas when you have another son." And soon after that, his wife became pregnant, and then they had another son, and then Madhvācārya took sannyas. So he took sannyas when he was 12 years old. And his sannyas guru's name was Achyuta Preksha. And after his sannyas diksha, he got the name Purna Pragyatirtha. And then as a sannyasi, he traveled all over India, discussing Shastra, like debating with Shastra. So remember, Shankaracharya defeated Kumarila Bhatta. Who was Kumarila Bhatta? Who was proposing Karmakanda, as that's the, basically that's the goal. That's what the Shastras are telling us to do. There is nothing higher. The goal of following Varnashrama and everything is just, enjoy. So Madhvācārya defeated that and established that impersonal liberation, and also brought the Vedas back into society. Now, Madhvācārya is taking one step further. Now, from Advaita philosophy, which was given by Shankaracharya, Madhvācārya establishes the Dvaita philosophy. That means, no, it's not that the living, it's not that there is no difference between the living entity and the understanding of the impersonalist is, in this body, there is only one, right? There's only one, and that is Brahma. Brahma Satyam, and everything else is false. So they don't see two, that there's a living entity and also the Supreme Lord. So that is Advaita. Advaita means no two. Then SRILA Madhvācārya defeating this. So he had discussions with, so remember, Madhvācārya came about 500 years after Shankaracharya. So around Madhvācārya's time, when he went preaching, he debated with the current Acharya in the Sringeri Mutt. His name was Vidyashankar. And he completely defeated his philosophy. He defeated Vidyashankar. He was diminished in the presence of Madhvācārya, like this. And he established the Dvaitavad. Then, along with his disciple Satyatirtha, Madhvācārya went to Badrikashram, and there he met Srila Vyasdev, and he presented his commentary on Bhagavad Gita to Vyasdev for his approval. And Vyasdev approved that. And Srila Prabhupada says that he became a great scholar by studying before Vyasadeva. Then I think we'll read from there today. We'll continue from there now. By the time he came to the Ananda Math from Badrikashram, Madhvācārya had finished his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. So he was writing the commentary, he had not completed, and he went to show Vyasadeva whatever he had written. And by the time he came back, he completed the commentary on Bhagavad Gita. His companion Satyatirtha wrote down the entire commentary. So Madhvācārya must be dictating and his disciple was writing it down. When Madhvācārya returned from Badrikashram, he went to Ganjama, which is on the bank of the river Godavari. There he met with two learned scholars named Shobhana Bhatta and Swami Shastri. So this is on the banks of Godavari, Shobhana Bhatta and Swami Shastri. Later, these scholars became known in the disciplic succession of Madhvācārya as Padmanabha Tirtha and Narahari Tirtha. So they actually became his disciples. Padmanabha Tirtha and Narahari Tirtha. When he returned to Udupi, he would sometimes bathe in the ocean. On such an occasion, he composed a prayer in 5 chapters. Once, while sitting beside the sea, engrossed in meditation upon Lord Śrī Caitanya, he saw that a large boat containing goods for Dwaraka was in danger. So there was a merchant on a big ship carrying many, merchandise. He had a lot of things to be sold. He was a merchant. And that boat was in danger. He gave some signs by which the boat could approach the shore. So Madhvācārya guided this merchant. He gave some signs by which the boat could approach the shore and was saved. The owners of the boat wanted to give him a present, and at the time Madhvācārya agreed to take some gopī-candana. They were coming from Dwaraka. So in Dwaraka they have gopī-candana, lot of gopī-candana. So he said, I can take some gopī-candana. He received a big lump of gopī-candana, and as it was being brought to him, it broke apart and revealed a large deity of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So you know the story of this deity. This deity was actually worshipped by Rukmini Devi. It's child Kṛṣṇa, baby Kṛṣṇa, Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa. So Rukmini Devi, when in Dwarka, when she heard Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, she desired to see that form and to witness those pastimes, because she married Krishna, as a youth. So she was very much attracted to the childhood pastimes of Vrindavan. She wanted to hear when she heard about those pastimes. So then the Lord manifested this deity for her, so she could worship him like that. So Rukmini ji was worshipping Krishna in Dwaraka, so that deity came to Madhvācārya. And that's the same deity now in Udupi as Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa. The owners of the boat wanted to give him a present, and at the time Madhvācārya agreed to take some gopī-candana. He received a big lump of gopī-candana, and as it was being brought to him, it broke apart and revealed the large deity of Lord Kṛṣṇa. The deity had a stick in one hand and a lump of food in the other. As soon as Madhvācārya received the deity of Kṛṣṇa in this way, he composed a prayer. The deity was so heavy that not even 30 people could lift it. Yet, Madhvācārya personally brought this deity to Uḍupī. That means single-handedly. He just picked up and he brought. Madhvācārya personally brought this deity to Uḍupī. 8 of Madhvācārya's sannyas disciples became directors of his 8 monasteries. So we saw Shankaracharya had 4 monasteries in north, south, east and west of India. Madhvācārya established 8 monasteries. And each of these monasteries had a director. Worship of the Lord Kṛṣṇa deity is still going on at Udupi according to the plans of Madhvācārya established. So they take turns. So these 8 monasteries, they take turns, one after another. They have a duration, I think for 2 years or something. Each monastery will worship the deity. And then after that, the next monastery, they take responsibility. It's their turn to worship the deity, like this. So it is rotated. This was established by Madhvācārya. So by that, the standards will be strictly maintained. Madhvācārya then for the second time visited Badrikashram. So after establishing the worship of Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa deity, now for the second time Madhvācārya visited Badrikashram. While he was passing through Maharashtra, the local king was digging a big lake for the public benefit. He was digging a lake. As Madhvācārya passed through that area with his disciples, he was also obliged to help in the excavation. He was digging the lake, but how was he digging? He forced all the travelers, anyone who would pass by, they had to also contribute in digging the lake. So that means they had to come and personally dig. Dig means, taking axes and crowbars and actually physically start digging. So because Madhvācārya and his disciples were passing by that place, he stopped them also and he said, you should also. It was mandatory, it was force. So as Madhvācārya passed through that area with his disciples, he was obliged to help in the excavation. After some time, when Madhvācārya visited the king, he engaged the king in that work and departed with his disciples. So then when the king came, the Madhvācārya actually made the king himself to dig. And then he left with the disciples. Often in the province of Ganga Pradesh, there were fights between Hindus and Muslims. So this is on the way when Madhvācārya is traveling to go to Badrikashram. Often in the province of Ganga Pradesh, there were fights between Hindus and Muslims. The Hindus were on one bank of the river and the Muslims on the other. Due to the community tension, no boat was available for crossing the river. The Muslim soldiers were always stopping passengers on the other side, but Madhvācārya did not care for these soldiers. He crossed the river anyway, and when he met the soldiers on the other side, he was brought before the king. So the Muslim soldiers took Madhvācārya to the king, the Muslim king. The Muslim king was so pleased with him that he wanted to give him a kingdom. So when the king talked with Madhvācārya, he was enchanted by Madhvācārya's personality. So he was so pleased. They had obviously a discussion and he was quite amazed. So the Muslim king was so pleased with him that he wanted to give him a kingdom and some money, but Madhvācārya refused. While walking on the road, he was attacked by some dacoits, but by his bodily strength, he killed them all. While walking on the road, he was attacked by some dacoits, but by his bodily strength, he killed them all. Single-handedly, Madhvācārya killed all the dacoits. When his companion Satyatirtha was attacked by a tiger, Madhvācārya separated them by virtue of his great strength. When he met Vyasadeva, he received from him the Shaligram Shila known as Ashtamurti. After this, he summarized the Mahabharata. So the first time he went to Vyasadeva, he presented the commentary of Bhagavad Gita. He studied under Vyasadeva, and then when he came back, he completed Bhagavad Gita commentary. The second time he went, he actually summarized the whole Mahabharata. That means he wrote the Mahabharata again, in a summary form. Madhvācārya's devotion to the Lord and his erudite scholarship became known throughout India. Consequently, the owners of the Sringeri Mutt, established by Shankaracharya, became a little perturbed. See, they were, before Madhvācārya, it was Shankaracharya's Advaita philosophy that was prevalent in the whole country. But because of Madhvācārya's devotion and his scholarship, nobody could stand before him in any debate. We saw he defeated Vidyashankar, the Acharya of Sringeri Mutt. So he became very, very popular. And by this, the owners of Sringeri Mutt became a little disturbed, perturbed. At that time, the followers of Shankaracharya were afraid of Madhvācārya's rising power, and they began to tease Madhvācārya's disciples in many ways. There was even an attempt to prove that the disciplic succession of Madhvācārya was not in line with Vedic principles. Somehow or other to defame him, finding different ways. So they said he's not from an authentic disciplic succession. A person named Pundarika Puri, a follower of Mayavad philosophy of Shankaracharya, came before Madhvācārya to discuss the Shastras. It is said that all of Madhvācārya's books were taken away, so they stole. So while they were having that discussion, Madhvācārya's books were like books written by Madhvācārya. They were all stolen. But later they were found with the help of King Jayasimha, ruler of Kumla. Okay, so this Mayavadi philosopher from the Shankaracharya's line, Pundarika Puri, he engaged Madhvācārya, challenged him for a debate, and while that was going on, his books were stolen. But later, Madhvācārya found them with the help of King Jayasimha, the ruler of Kumla. In discussion, Pundarik Puri was defeated by Madhvācārya. A great personality named Trivikramacharya, who was a resident of Vishnu Mangala, became Madhvācārya's disciple, and his son later became Narayanacharya, the composer of Sri Madhva Vijaya. Okay, so then after defeating this Pundarika Puri, then one great personality called Trivikramacharya became the disciple of Madhvācārya, and Trivikramacharya's son Narayanacharya composed Madhva Vijaya. After the death of Trivikramacharya, the younger brother of Narayanacharya took sannyas and later became known as Vishnu Tirtha. It was reputed that there was no limit to the bodily strength of Purna Pragya, Madhvācārya. There was a person named Kadanjari who was famed for possessing the strength of 30 men. Like one man, he was so strong, he had the strength of 30 men. Madhvācārya placed the big toe of his foot upon the ground and asked the man to separate it from the ground. Just move it from its place. Move my toe from its place. Right? Just move it aside if you can. This man who had the strength of 30 men was challenged by Madhvācārya to just move his toe from the ground. But the strong man could not do so even after great effort. SRILA Madhvācārya passed from this world at the age of 80 while writing a commentary on the Aitareya Upanishad. For further information about Madhvācārya, one should read Madhva Vijaya by Narayana Acharya. So the way Madhvācārya left, they say there is a place in Udupi. He sat, where he gives his daily classes. So he just sat there and he was speaking. And as he was speaking, he just disappeared. Just the garland remained there. He just disappeared while he was speaking. Like that. So that is his samadhi there. The acharyas of the Madhva Sampradaya established Udupi as the chief center, and the monastery there was known as Uttararadhi Matha. Uttararadhi Matha. A list of the different centers of the Madhvācārya Sampradaya can be found at Udupi, and their Matha commanders are. So these are all the mathas established by Madhvācārya and their commanders. Vishnu Tirtha, Shoda Matha. Janardhan Tirtha, Krishnapura Matha. That means these are the personalities that were established by Madhvācārya. So now their descendants will be there. Vishnu Tirtha, Shoda Matha. Janardhan Tirtha, Krishnapura Matha. Vamana Tirtha, Kanura Matha. Narasimha Tirtha, Adamara Matha. Upendra Tirtha, Puttugi Matha. Rama Tirtha, Shirura Matha. Rishikesha Tirtha, Palimara Matha. And Akshobhya Tirtha, Pejavara Matha. The disciplic succession of the Madhvācārya Sampradaya is as follows. So these are the 8 mathas established by Madhvācārya. Yes, 8. With the 8 disciples' names. Then the disciplic succession of Madhvācārya Sampradaya is as follows. The dates are those of birth in the Shakabda era. For Christian era dates, add 78 years. So Madhvācārya's disciple, Hamsa Paramatma, then his disciple Chaturmukha Brahma, Sanakadi. Oh, sorry. No. This is not Madhvācārya's disciple. So
Yes, Mataji is written disciplic succession of Madhvacārya Sampradaya.
yeah, that's not, see, Madhvācārya is here. So this is beginning with Hamsa. So Hamsa avatar. So Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahma is our Brahmaji. So Chaturmukha Brahma, because Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, na? So beginning, so here Brahmaji. So Brahmaji got instructions from the Supreme Lord. So here it is said Hamsa Paramatma. That means the prayers, I mean the instructions given by Hamsa avatar. So Hamsa Paramatma, then Chaturmukha Brahma, then Chaturmukha Brahma gave to Sanakadi, means 4 Kumaras. Then Kumara's disciple is Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni's disciple is Jnana Nidhi. Then Garuda Vahana. Garuda Vahana means Garuda. Then Kaivalya Tirtha, Jnanesha Tirtha, Paratirtha, Satya Prajna Tirtha, Prajna Tirtha, Achyuta Prekshacharya. This is the guru who gave Madhvācārya his sannyas initiation. And he gave him the name Purna Pragya Tirtha. So that means his disciplic succession is authentic. It has to be established. So this is the succession is being shown. Achyuta Preksha Acharya Tirtha, then Sri Madhvācārya. So this happened in 1040 Shaka. Then his disciple Padmanabha 1120, Narahari 1127, Madhava 1136, and Akshobhya. So 2 disciples. Madhava and Akshobhya 1159, Jayatirtha 1167, Vidyadhiraja 1190, Kavindra 1255, Vagisha 1261, Ramachandra 1269, Vidyanidhi 1298, Sri Raghunath 1366, Rayu Varya, who spoke with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So this is Caitanya Mahaprabhu's contemporary, Rayu Varya, in 1424, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Then Raghuttama, 1471, Vedavyas, 1517, Vidyadhisha, 1541, Vedanidhi, 1553, Satyavrata, 1557, Satyanidhi, 1560, Satyanatha, 1582, Satyabhinava, 1595, Satyapurna, 1628, Satya Vijaya, 1648, Satyapriya, 1659, Satyabodha, 1666, Satyasandha, 1705, Satyavara, 1716, Satyadharma, 1719, Satyasankalpa, 1752, Satyasantushta, 1763, Satyaparayana, 1763. Same year. Satyasantushta, 1763, Satyaparayana, 1763. Maybe that's their date of birth. Right? Then Satyakama, 1785. Satyeshta, 1793. Satyaparakrama, 1794. Satyadhira, 1801. Satyadhira Tirtha, 1808. So after the 16th Acharya, Vidyadhiraj Tirtha, 16th Acharya here. After that, Vidyadhiraj Tirtha, which was in 1190. That means he was born in 1190. There was another disciplic succession, including Rajendra Tirtha, 1254. So after this, there was another succession, Rajendra Tirtha. So 1254. So that is not given here because this is one line and there is another parallel line. You know, like a branch that started after Vidyadhiraj Tirtha. There was another disciplic succession, including Rajendra. So this is the line from Vidyadhiraj. So after Vidyadhiraj, there is Rajendra Tirtha, 1254, Vijayadhvaja, Purushottama, Subramanya, and Vyasaraya, 1470 to 1520. Okay, 1520. The 19th Acharya Ramachandra Tirtha had another disciplic succession, including, so that means just like, you know, we have, let's say, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had different disciples. So one line is coming down from Srila Prabhupada. Then there will be another line from another disciple, like that. So when some considerable prominent service is offered, and then that disciplic succession becomes famous. So it's possible that more than one line is famous when extraordinary service is rendered by different disciples, then their lines and generation after generation, right? In disciplic succession, if they render some, great service, then that line also becomes prominent. So that is why we are seeing, apart from this disciplic succession, there are other disciplic successions, starting with a particular acharya. They are mentioned here. So after 16th Acharya Vidyadhiraj, there was another disciplic succession, including Rajendra Tirtha, Vijayadhwaja, Purushottama, Subramanya, and Vyas Tirtha. Then the 19th Acharya Ramchandra Tirtha had another disciplic succession, including Vibhudendra, Jitamitra, Raghunandan, Surendra, Vijendra, Sudhindra, and Raghavendra Tirtha. To date, in the Udupi monastery, there are another 14 Madhva Tirtha sannyasis. So, to date, in the Udupi monastery, there are another 14 Madhva Tirtha sannyasis. As stated, Udupi is situated beside the sea in South Kannada, about 30 miles north of Mangalore. Most of the information in this purport is available from the South Kannada Manual and the Bombay Gazette. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are another 14 Madhva-tirtha sannyasis. That means coming in the line of Madhvācārya. So we can stop here today. We read about Srila Madhvācārya in today's class. Then we will continue. Maybe we'll just read a little bit, because Mahaprabhu is still in Udupi. Nartaka Gopāla dekhe parama-mohane madhvācārya svapna diyā āilā tāhāṅ. Nartaka Gopāla dekhe parama-mohane. So Mahaprabhu took darshan of dancing Gopal. Parama-mohane, most enchanting form. Madhvācārya svapna diyā āilā tāhāṅ. How this deity appeared, this dancing Gopal? The deity appeared to Madhvācārya in a dream, and then he came here. When Mahaprabhu saw this deity of dancing Gopal, he was, he just saw, that's all. Nartaka Gopāla dekhe parama-mohane. Like being completely enchanted, Mahaprabhu saw this beautiful form of dancing Gopal. Madhvācārya svapna diyā āilā tāhāṅ. And this deity had come here by first appearing in the dream of Madhvācārya. While at the Udupi monastery, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu saw dancing Gopal, a most beautiful deity. This deity appeared to Madhvācārya in a dream. Gopī-candana-tale, āilā dingate, madhvācārya Śrī Kṛṣṇa paila kona-mate. Gopī-candana-tale, āilā dingate. So this deity, it's the same deity that appeared in the Gopī-candan. Gopī-candana-tale. Gopī-candana-tale, that means under the Gopī-candan. Āilā dingate. Dingate means in a boat. So this Gopī-candan that came in a boat, underneath this Gopī-candan or inside this Gopī-candan was this deity. Madhvācārya Śrī Kṛṣṇa paila kona-mate. Somehow or other, Madhvācārya got the same deity. He got that deity. Somehow or other he got. Kona-mate means kisi na kisi tarah se. Somehow or other he got. Madhvācārya had somehow or other acquired the deity of Kṛṣṇa from a heap of Gopī-candan that had been transported in a boat. The history, how he got, we read in the purport, previous purport. Madhvācārya anitare korila sthapana adyavadhi seva kore tattvavādī gana. So Madhvācārya ani tare korila sthapana. So bringing that deity, Madhvācārya established the deity worship standards. He established or installed the deity, and also he set the worship standards. Adyavadhi seva kore. Adyavadhi seva means that means seva kore tattvavādī gan. So the tattvavādī disciples, they are worshipping the deity even to this day. Whatever service was established, worship standards were established by Madhvācārya, They are being observed even to this date by the Tattvavādī disciples, disciplic succession, or Tattvavādī disciples of Madhvācārya. Madhvācārya brought this dancing Gopal deity to Uḍupī and installed him in the temple. To date, the followers of Madhvācārya, known as Tattvavādīs, worship this deity. Krishna Murti dekhi Prabhu Mahasukha pailo, prema veshe bahukshana nritya gita koilo. So seeing this deity of Krishna, Mahaprabhu got Mahasukha, right? He was very, very pleased. He got transcendental ecstasy seeing this deity. Prema veshe, in that being overcome by love for several seconds, bahukshana, he danced and sang in front of Uḍupī Krishna. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu received great pleasure in seeing this beautiful form of Gopāla. For a long time, he danced and chanted in ecstatic love. Tattvavādī. Okay, then the rest we can continue tomorrow. You can stop here for today. Thank you all, dear devotees.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Mataji, I couldn't understand the timeline thing with Madhvācārya and Vyasadeva.
Acha. Madhvācārya and Vyas. No, this is not Vyasadev. This is another Vyasaraya, you mean?
No, he went to the Badrikashram.
Yes. So Vyasadev is there even now. He's there even now. He stays in all times, past, present, future. And it's not like generally we see, when we say Vyasadev is there even today in Badrikashram, but ordinary people cannot go there because it is so high in the mountain. It's extreme, you know, even in winter time where the worship goes on, they just close all the temples because it is too severe. The conditions are too severe for anyone to go. And where Vyasadev stays, human beings can't even go. But Madhvācārya went because even his disciple Satyatirtha, who was following him, at one point he couldn't go any further. So what he did was, you know, he just like Madhvācārya, you know, like, so because of that wind, his disciple just, you know, he just woke up and he found himself way down with the group of other disciples. So they waited there until Madhvācārya, you know, came back after he met with Vyasadev. So he was alone with Vyasadev. Even his disciples were unable to go that high. So that means Vyasadev is there along with other rishis. These are, you know, these rishis, they are there in past, present, and future. And Madhvācārya went to see him. So when you say timeline, when did he go, you're asking? When he was, you know, after he took sannyas, you know, after he was 12, around that time, he went to see the first time. Then again, the second time he went. Was that your question when you said timeline?
Yeah, both as well. Miss, I couldn't understand that how Miss that I didn't know that Vyasadeva is still present.
Yes.
And
yes.
As well, first time and second time.
Yeah.
First time he went when he was 12.
We can check. Yeah. After, so when he was 12, he took sannyas, and then at that time itself, he started writing. 1 second. So see, so he accepted sannyas at the age of 12, and his name was Purna Pragya Tirtha. Then at that time, after taking sannyas, he started traveling and discussing scriptures. He defeated Vidyashankar of Sringeri Mutt. Then, accompanied by Satyatirtha, he went to Badrikashram. So it's around that time. After taking sannyas. So around that time, after he was 12, like that. He met Vyasadeva, and he had already started writing the Bhagavad Gita commentary. And then he presented it to Vyasadeva, and he studied under Vyasadeva, and he came back after that. Again, he came down to his ashram. He came back. He returned from Badrikashram. Then again, he was traveling, you know, meeting and making disciples. And he went for the second time. And this time, he So after establishing, so after he got the deity of Uḍupī, Kṛṣṇa, he established the worship. Then he went for the second time. So this must have been, several years later. And then, yeah.
Okay, so here the kind of age or any year is not mentioned when he visited.
Here it is not mentioned, but Srila Prabhupada is saying most of this information is available in these books. The South Kannada Manual and Bombay Gazette. So you can find the details. And also the book written about Madhvācārya, specifically, Madhva Vijaya. Madhva Vijaya by Narayanacharya. If you look into this book, you should find all the, I think, exact timelines. Okay.
Yes, Madhya. And another small question I have.
Yes.
This dancing Gopal deity is the same. He got same worship by Rukmini Maharani.
I think yes, it's the same.
Or the Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa.
Uḍupī Kṛṣṇa, I think, is only the dancing Gopal. That's what I'm understanding, because there's only one deity that came, right? The deity was found in the Gopī-Chandan, is said. So the deity, and he established the worship of this deity, which so this is the dancing Gopal.
Okay. And the same deity he came into
was
the
worshipped.
dream.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and also that the same deity came into dream of the madhvācārya.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We'll end here. Thank you very much. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.